Hello, my name is Dr. Tom Hayashi, and I am the chair of the Department of Leadership and Management at Saybrook University. I am so pleased to learn that you have decided to find out a little bit more about our admissions process, and I am here to help with providing additional information and to explain the various elements of the process and all of the requirements that we have for the Sustainable Social Impact MBA. So these slides will have a lot of information, and I'll definitely speak to a number of these areas. First off, the admissions requirement for the MBA is for students to have earned a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution, a nationally accredited institution, or an appropriately certified foreign institution. And we can evaluate the appropriateness of the degree that has been conferred by looking into your transcript. So the evidence of that will be the transcript. Some people ask, can I just give you a copy of the diploma? That's actually not as important as the transcript, even though it is definitely something that is, an official record. But what we really pay attention to is the transcript, and more specifically the official transcript. But we will accept the unofficial transcript for the time being, if necessary. So we do need to see that you have earned a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited institution or an institution that is nationally recognized, or a foreign institution, and you need to say that on the transcript. You also will have to have had indicated in the transcript that you have earned a grade point average of 3.0 on a scale of 4.0. With course completion grade of B or better, particularly in the undergraduate foundational courses in business administration. And there are three that we typically look at: the principles of accounting, business finance, and quantitative research techniques and statistics. So it's 1, 2, or 3. Right, is just want to make sure that everyone is very clear about that. Now, because our program has been intentionally designed to help students who have not majored in business administration in their undergrad. So for instance, if you had a bachelor's degree in art, or in sociology, or even physical education, or whatever the discipline is, we have found a way to bridge you over into the particular requirements that we have here. So I'll tell you a little bit about that through the PBoss and the Peregrine level setting courses. But if you happen to be a business administration major, or you've had an undergraduate degree, or you just happen to take these courses at an undergrad, even at the community college level, you may be able to apply these courses to the requirement. And we do not have an age limit on these, meaning that for most courses that we actually transfer, we do have time limits of 10 years, but as long as you've taken these courses sometime in your career as a student, we will accept that as long as that you have passed those courses with B or better. But again, don't panic if you haven't had those courses. Those are not hard requirements for entry into the program, and there's a way to actually address those things. So besides that, we will need to have you submit a Saybrook University application online. I talked about the transcripts, and you know, if you could include transcripts from all the institutions that you've actually earned an undergraduate courses from, particularly if it had to do with your undergraduate degree. We also will need two professional or academic reference in a form of a letter of reference, or in lieu of a letter of reference, we just need to have the name, title, affiliation, email address, and phone number so that we could contact them. We also will need a resume or CV. That is a requirement that we have to be included in your application packet. And also a personal statement that is 1,500 words or 3-page single-spaced statement based on a set of prompt, which is what is your background and motivation for graduate level study. And then I'll talk a little bit more to that as well in this video. And then lastly, after you've gone through all of those things in terms of getting all the application packet content uploaded on our online application management platform, then you will be assigned to a faculty member within our program for a 30-minute interview. It could be with me as the department chair, or it could be one of the faculty members. Regardless, you will talk to a faculty member for through a 30-minute interview, and I'll talk a little bit about how to prepare and what to expect in that area as well. Let's cover the degree transcripts and GPA aspect of it. So as I mentioned, we do need to have a copy of the transcript. Official version of the transcript is preferred, and you could actually order them these days online through your school's registrar, or they may have already have a third-party provider that you could actually order from online, like I said, and you could have the transcript, the official transcript, sent directly to our registrar. So your admissions counselors also should be able to help you with that as far as the process is concerned. We do need to make sure that the transcript clearly states the degree conferred and the date. That is also very, very important and something that we will be looking into. We also want to make sure that, especially if you have taken the foundational courses in accounting, business finance, or quantitative research techniques and statistics, that it is clearly also included in the transcript. Next, foundational courses, as I mentioned, are those three areas. It's 1, 2, or 3. So you do have to have at least 2 of those courses, and you have the choice between the second requirement, which is business finance, or quantitative research techniques and statistics. So any courses in statistics would definitely cover that requirement. Data analytics, and quantitative research techniques. Some students who have majored in psychology, maybe even in some of the hard sciences like chemistry, biology, and the like, may have, or you may already have stats or quantitative research included in your template. In your transcript, rather. And so that should really cover it, which means that you will still need to make sure that you fulfill the accounting course requirement. Doesn't mean that you have to take a course in accounting, and I'll speak to that in a little bit, but if you already have that in your transcript, we will just simply review that as we are going through your application, and we will confirm what you need to take, if any, of the seminar elements, or you might be just good, and we'll just say you have fulfilled your requirements. There is a mandatory seminar that you will have to take either before starting in the program or after, regardless of whether if you've taken those foundational courses or not. But within that, if you haven't taken the foundational courses, you will also need to register for a Peregrine level setting course. But we will be talking quite a bit, between the time that you are accepted into the program and also advised on your academics about the PBoss. So the PBoss is a seminar that lasts about 1.5 hours each, and it's given over 5 weeks, where students will be exposed to key concepts in business. And this is a requirement for all MBA and DBA students entering into the program. Like I said, you could take this before the courses begin, or in your first semester, before the first semester begins, or you could actually take this, after your semester has begun, but in the first semester. But you do need to take it, I would say, within 1 to 2 semesters at the most. And part of that for those students who haven't fulfilled the foundational courses is that you need to register for the Peregrine courses. But you do need to sign up for this course. It's not done through the registrar. It's actually done directly in the department, and there's no credits given for it. But it is something that we track in terms of attendance and the like. And it is offered through Zoom. The accounting and business finance level setting course, which is a self-paced online course provided by Peregrine Global Services, which is a company that we contract with, is the source where you will need to register for those 2 online self-paced course. Now, this is not also covered by financial aid. You do need to pay out of pocket. They're $42 per course. And you could pay for the courses once you register for them. Just to give you a quick look of what it looks like, we give you a link for this, and you can go ahead and register for these 2 courses. But remember, I just want to explain that this is a requirement for the purpose of you understanding all of the requirements for admission into the program. We will work with you on the process of getting registered, and you don't need to take these courses in order to be enrolled or admitted into the program. But we just want to make sure that you're aware of it. And at this point, I'm just giving you a general orientation to it. There's also something that we have in our department called the Provisional Acceptance. The Provisional Acceptance is extended particularly for students who, is presenting very positive content in terms of application and all of the application packet elements, but it just so happens that the GPA is below 3.0. And there may be other elements of the application where we would consider extending a provisional acceptance. And in the case of the GPA, we want to make sure that, if we do admit the student or admit you into the program where you have a GPA of 3.0, less than 3.0, then we really just need to make sure that we're providing all the resources and academic support, non-academic support, so that you could succeed in your first 2 semesters. You will have to maintain a GPA of 3.0 on a 4.0 scale for the first 2 semesters for all the courses that you're taking. And there'll be some check-in with myself as the department chair, or even one of the faculty members to see how things are coming along. If you have been able to achieve a GPA of 3.0 on a scale of 4.0 in the first 2 semesters, then we will remove the provisional acceptance. You're formally accepted and you're pretty good as far as that's concerned. If it turns out that you were not able to achieve a GPA of 3.0 during that time, you may be dismissed from the program, but there's an appeal process involved within 30 days. You can submit your petition, and I, as a department chair, will review this along with the college dean and provide a written decision on your petition. But again, this is just for informational purposes. This may not apply to vast majority of the students, but this is another way that we can also exercise some exceptions. The application is accessible online, and this is the case for all programs within Saybrook University. Here's the link on the slide itself, but you can actually navigate in our general webpage. If you look under admissions, there is a button where you could actually access the online application portal. You will have to create an account that includes your email address and password to log in, and that will allow you to fill out all of the sections, including name and address and the program that you're applying for, and of your academic information, like where you went to school and the like. And so it's all, you just follow the online form, and there's also sections where you could upload content related to your application as well, including personal statements, CVs, resumes, and that sort of thing, which I'll get to in a few moments. Speaking of professional reference, there's 2 ways to address this. We really prefer that you actually seek a professional reference by letter or letter of reference. And so there is a part of the portal for the application where you will be able to actually send for requests of letter of reference. If that is either not preferred or if that's too difficult, we just ask that you provide at least the name, title, affiliation, email address, and phone number of the 2 individuals that you would like to provide as your reference. And if you're wondering for either of those options, you can, you might be asking yourself, well, who should you approach for the reference? I would say that current and former supervisors, coworkers, mentors in the workspace, as well as volunteerism and community involvement, all are good options in terms of references. And what should a reference cover? And so if you decide to use the online application portal part of the professional reference, it covers the same thing that I'm listing here in terms of the bullets. And that's what we're going to be asking professional references to provide in terms of their feedback. And so, we're being very transparent about what we're going to be asking for. And then there'll be a section where they could actually make comments if they want to say something, about you in a narrative way. But this is what we cover here. We also require a resume or CV. Most students opt for the resume. CV is a curriculum vitae, or it's like a resume, but it's usually used for in academic settings. We'll accept both. But for resume, you may want to use this as a checklist. We want to make sure that you have your name, address, email, phone number, and maybe even a link to your LinkedIn profile is optional, but that's typically something that most people include in their resume these days. Career profile or objective aligned with your job and job family. Work experience up to last 5 years, most recent to least recent. Education, list of degrees earned, majors, those kinds of things. Training, certifications, and skills, list and describe training and certifications and skills in that area. Community involvement, volunteerism, membership, you may want to list and describe volunteerism, activism, service and membership to professional organizations and social organizations that may also kind of give a well-rounded understanding of what you're involved in. And I would just keep this resume or CV to about 2 to 3 pages at the most, realizing that some folks may have been in the workforce or have been involved in the community for a long, long time. But if you could keep it to 2 to 3 pages, that would really be preferred. Some students will use an online resume builder like the one that I'm showing you here on this slide. So there are a lot of resources to pull from. Here's some examples of some really good brief resume formats. Here's another one. And we really prefer that you actually present a resume that has descriptions of what kind of accomplishments that you've had in your specific positions, and also some really tight data sets that will allow us to understand a little bit about your career background and your personal involvement. The last thing before we get to the faculty interviews, a personal statement. The personal statement consists of 1,500 words, or about 3 pages single-spaced. If you're going to do a double-spaced document, then it will be double that, so it'll be up to 6 pages. You know, we're not going to be auditing how many words that you included, but we want to make sure that you have covered your general prompt, which is what is your background and motivation for graduate level study. And you may want to talk about the following: background, personal and professional background, why the MBA, why are you curious, or what are you curious by? This educational opportunity, what do you wish to learn? How will the MBA serve your personal and professional goals? What opportunities will motivate you by earning the MBA? How will you contribute to the learning community? How will you make an impact on your local community through and as a result of earning an MBA? What questions do you have as you are reflecting on the educational journey ahead? So again, you do not have to cover all of these bullet points. These bullet points are provided as additional things for you to think about to help you address the main prompt. Now, the faculty interview. The faculty interview, as far as the purpose of it, is a one-on-one 30-minute interview on Zoom by the faculty designee, is to dialogue with the student about student's background, learning objectives, personal professional goals, programmatic framework, courses and expectations, academic and non-academic readiness, questions and concerns, support systems and resources that you would like and that we may have available here at the university, and realistic options and non-negotiable issues. So these are just really designed to, you know, be a good space for dialogue. So it's supposed to be back and forth. Please come prepared to address these issues as much as possible, referring back to some elements of your application packet and the like. But we're really here to be a helpful opportunity for both parties, the faculty and the student, to figure out what is the best way to set you up for success and to make sure that there's a good fit for both parties. With all of that said, I am your #1 resource for any questions that you may have about the application process and the program. Please feel free to reach out to me at my email address, thayashi1@saybrook.edu, and at my mobile phone number, 562-222-11030. And I look forward to seeing you soon, perhaps at our interview. However we can be helpful, I'm glad to be able to help in any way. Thank you very much. Good luck.